Hayes world. So I am actually really surprised by myself by getting another Polène bag. I was kind of done with them for quite a while. And as you all know, that our friend Bernie from LVMH took a stake in Polène, and we were all kind of just anticipating to see what was going to happen with Polène. I, in particular, was waiting for the company to jack up their prices like 50%, which thankfully they didn't at the beginning of this year yet. Keyword yet. Then there was the quality control, right? And how it could drop significantly, which they already did in the past few years. It's really a hit and miss when you order from Polène. But there's always time to get worse, if at all possible. But I also anticipated for the customer service to be better, which we have yet to see that. Let me know if you had any good experience or bad customer experience since Bernie's snaky little hands got a hold of Polène. However, we cannot really make that kind of determination on all of the changes within the first few months of this edition in the ownership because LVMH does not own the entire company yet. I feel like there's a lot of yet that I'm saying. So in any case, let's just get right into it. All right, this is the latest release from Polène, and I was still laying in bed at like, I don't know, 6, 7 in the morning. Of course, I gotta do my scrolling. And I saw this immediately without hesitation. I immediately purchased the bag. You know, kind of flipped through the different colors and decided which one I wanted to go with. And I just thought this is a design that actually caught my attention. And of course, I'll get into the details of it. I saw the built-in interior magnets and I was like, done, sold, buy, hit the checkout button. And this is just perfect because I just added the 14th bag to my French Parisian handbag collection. We're still mulling over if we want to consider Polène to be an indie brand. Yes, they are still a young brand, but now with LVMH kind of having their hands in it, I don't know. I'll kind of let you guys know. What do you think? Can we still consider this an indie brand? And you haven't seen that video of the battle of French indie bags. I do cover 13 different bags I have in my collection. It's a long video, I'm not gonna lie. Grab a drink, to break it up into several sittings and sessions, but I think it's well-rounded. I do go into quite a bit of detail about each of the bag, rating it and giving you my thoughts on the price to ratio, as well as wear and tear and how much I rate each particular bag. So go check that out. I'll make sure to link it up above and below for you if you haven't seen it already. I want to give you a quick logic on why I decided to purchase this and why I haven't purchased Polène in the past few years. If you want to just see the ins and outs of this particular bag, I'll timestamp it down below so you can just skip over my yapping here. But for those of you who are interested, the first bag I got from Polène was the number 8 or the numero 8, which is the bucket bag. I no longer have this bag because I'm not really into bucket bags anymore. I love that purse when I first got it, used the shit out of it, and I got so many compliments because it was such a unique take to the traditional bucket bag. The quality was fantastic, and I also visited the Polène store twice in Paris in the past few years, and my friends literally all came out with multiple bags, massive boxes, and it was just a great experience and haul for them for a fantastic price because the prices are better in Paris. However, I came out empty-handed because nothing interested me. The Noof is a really cute bag, and I've said this over and over again for those of you who have been with me for a while. The top handle and just impossible to look inside, especially the mini. I think the big one is a little too big, disproportionate, not my jam. But when it comes to the little one, the functionality is just not there. The architectural, the super unique design to a dumpling bag is just fantastic. And then I look like, again, this is me in the store going through every single bag that they have. I also looked at the number 10, the numero D, that I tried in store, and I really like the contrast fabric. I think it was felt with the leather trim as well as the full leather version. I tried multiple of them, and the zipper kept getting caught, and I'm just like, just pass, hard pass. The other one that interested me was the Moki. And that is an incredibly cool design, and it is surprisingly lightweight for a bag that looks really sturdy, very substantial, but I was like, I don't want to pay $700. And the holes on the side of the bag kind of just weirded me out because I feel like a lot of stuff and dirt would get caught in the holes on the side of the bag. I know Mrs. Leva, May from Mrs. Leva's, she did a whole entire review on the Maki bag. She and her mom loved it, so definitely go check out her video if you want more details on that. And then coming over to the SEP, the strap was just way too big and the bag itself was incredibly heavy. The Tonka was what I originally went to the Paris store and wanted to purchase, and it was nice. However, the circular bottom bags is not something I like just because the shape is kind of awkward and things just don't fit nicely in there, and the capacity is just not used to the full potential. My friend ended up getting one for herself and she loves it, but it's just not for me. And of course, the seam bag is another popular one, but I don't need another tote bag, especially if it curves on the side again. It's the most recent iteration of the Noose bag. It just looks like what are those? I made a whole entire reel because I was making fun of it, but the little curly hair dogs, I think it was some sort of English or Afghan or whatever kind of dog. Insert screen tower, but it's just like, why? Another one I saw was like, oh yeah, that's an Asian mop right there. So I thought that was pretty funny. And then the sole, which I don't think they made too much of, thank goodness, because that just looks like an Asian, like, if you know, you know. Airflow seat padding for like chairs so it doesn't get too hot. And then the Nieti, if I'm saying that correctly, it's just too busy. The Node was one I also thought was super cool looking and I was like ready to purchase it. However, I did see that in person as well. And it was just the top opening with your hand going in there. Again, I got gigantic hands. The zipper scrapes the top of my hand. So that was a hard pass for me as well. They could have designed that instead of a zipper opening, kind of like the Dior, and just do a flap opening, or perhaps like a little contraptions like a box and then you can flip it open. That would have been way more of a more functional design. So needless to say, after I got my Polène Mini Uno and then my bucket bag, which I let go of, nothing has interested me in the Polène world until now. This is the taupe color and I love the design of it because of the east-west shape bag. I recently did let go of my Fendi baguette, but I love that style, the east-west, that completely my jam. I'm not a person that goes and hops on trends, but when you realize how much stuff you can fit in an east-west bag and still have it look very compact and petite, mine has been blown and I have loved it ever since. And giving you a quick spin as I keep talking here, this is in the color taupe. It comes with a shoulder strap that is not detachable, which I think is a miss there. And the little button or the D-rings has an interesting design because it's not just a traditional D-ring. It actually has one extra piece of metal sticking outwards, which I don't know if there's a particular functionality to that or if it's just a design feature. The strap is adjustable and it has 3 different holes. So I think if you want to make it shorter, you could probably get a belt puncher and punch yourself another hole. Personally, I like it a little bit longer just because I am a bigger person. And I love the details because they do engrave Polène on the side of the gold hardware, which again, I love gold hardware. So I'm so happy they came out with gold hardware. You'll see the Polène logo right there, very inconspicuous. And they also have another logo right there. And that's pretty much it. There's a hole up at the top here, which, you know, kind of stick your finger in, a little weird. And then you open it up with just popping it open. There are built-in magnets on the interior right here, which it just kind of sucks it closed, which is great. And it's just an open compartment with one slip pocket. And it does come with its tag here, which I got to take off. And it's just a weird hole in the middle right here. I personally think that this is a work of art just because there are these features of it where it's asymmetrical. However, you also see the contrasting between the front and the back. I just think it's a really cool design. Looking at the glazing, it's not going to be throughout just because there are pieces that are stitched together and they didn't do glazing for every single edge of there when the pieces are being joined together. There is glazing on the side of the bag flap, and then up at the top you can just see where the 2 pieces of leather are attached together, no glazing there as well. So a little bit disappointed because it looks like it's half glazed, or perhaps they try to glaze it. They intentionally not glazed it, but then there's a little bit of glazing sticking out. So I was a little confused by that. Is it the biggest deal? No, it's not the biggest deal because you can't really see that at all with the hole. It just kind of looks like it's a dark hole. Other than that, the strap glazing itself is fantastic. The stitching, not a single pop stitch. So quality control on this one, I would say probably 9.5 out of 10. If I want to be nitpicky about the glazing, yeah, they could have done a better job with it around this area. One of you did ask me if keys are able to fit in here. So it does, and you definitely can fit a lot more stuff in here. Maybe you have to play a little bit of Tetris, but I do have this massive key ring and I don't really carry a whole bunch of keys. Usually it's just the car key. So hopefully that answers your question. And of course, I do read all of your comments. And speaking of which, if you are new to my channel, do hit that like and subscribe button for me and drop me a comment. If you are new, let me welcome you to my channel. And of course, if you are returning, glad you're here. You know what to do. I rely on you every single week so that I can get some of this content out to the world and all of the handbag lovers out there. Some critiques I do have for this particular bag. Could they have made this bag a little bit wider, a little bit taller? Yes, you definitely can. Another thing I think is a miss is that the strap itself is not detachable. As I mentioned before, if they made an option for it to be detachable at this particular size, it would be much nicer because then you can actually wear this as a clutch and make it multifunctional. Yes, you can definitely put the strap inside the bag itself and carry it as a clutch. However, it does take up room. It's not a big bag in general. So for the strap to take up room inside, that's, you know, design features that we as consumers are always thinking about. Like, I wish. I mean, the fact that I immediately thought of that, and sometimes people take a while to discover, like, why didn't they do this? For me, it's just like, that should have been a no-brainer, right? You can wear this as a clutch. You can wear this as a shoulder bag. If you allowed us to take off the strap here, wouldn't it just make sense? And people would praise you for that kind of design. Or they can make it even better by making this strap kind of shrink together or pull apart so that it can become a crossbody bag. But, you know, we know Polène, we know the French. They're like, this is how we designed it and this is how you should use it. For me, at least the minimum is to make the strap detachable so that you can go ahead and use this as a beautiful clutch. It's very sculptural looking, so I think it would work very well as a date night bag or a more formal event. And just to show you a quick comparison of the Mini Uno versus what you're getting with the Osmo. And you can see the difference, how thin it is and how skinny it is. And then the comparison this way. Additionally, I did double check the sizing and the weight on the website just so we can do a little reconciliation. The weight, maybe it was my scale, but it was listed as 380 grams. I weighed this without anything in it. It was 355. So it's not that big of a discrepancy. Maybe again, it's my kitchen scale is not super accurate. So I would say just go off of what they have. In terms of the measurements, it is accurate on their website. Talking a little bit about pricing, as many of you did reach out to me addressing the questions here in the US about duties. This bag is priced at $590. I did pay $20 in shipping. It shipped via DHL and actually arrived in like 4 days-ish. So it was pretty quick. I did not have to pay duties. Usually when it comes to DHL, you do get an email notification saying that you owe XYZ duties before they'll release the package to you. However, I did not, so maybe also depends on the state. I live in Tennessee and I did not receive that bill. However, I did have to pay state taxes, which was included on my checkout page, so I knew exactly how much I was paying for when it comes to this bag. So I guess your best option for me to give you the best advice is hit that checkout and see what the order breakdown is and the line item and hope for the best. I can't really say DHL is going to do XYZ versus FedEx. FedEx usually slaps you with a bill a month later, which I absolutely hate. I prefer what DHL offers. So I wanted to get this review up quite quickly so that in case you are interested in making a purchase, hopefully it doesn't sell out. As of me filming this video, it is still available, but knowing Polène, it can sell up pretty quickly because I have touted that Polène is an indie brand. I don't know if I can say that for much longer just because LVMH does have a stake in this brand. And as soon as it becomes a part of a large conglomerate, I don't know if I can categorize that. It is still a very young brand. So maybe, I don't know, I'll have to mull over that. However, if you are interested in more indie, like true indie brands from the Parisian world, from the French world, I did just release a super long ass video talking a little about how I rate which one's my favorite and kind of just get a little bit of exposure for you all to get to know Parisian brands outside of Polène. So I'll make sure to link that above and below for you and in the pinned comments. Jump on this if you do want to give this a bag a try for the money that I pay for it. I think it's worth it. The leather and the quality of it is definitely still good. Again, lucky for me, I had a really good experience. And if you have any questions, drop a comment down below. I'll do my best to try to answer all of them as much as possible and as quickly as possible so that you can make an informed decision. Life is hard. I want to help you save time and money so that you can somehow adult easier and hopefully less than retail. I'll see y'all next time.